Hello everyone, this is Lucas, and today I'm going to show you some hacks for your kill switch and your fuel system on your motorized bicycle kits. I had this bike hanging for about, all winter anyways. It's now end of May, so things are really nice and I wanted to get this going again. I'd sold some parts off of it to a friend when it was hanging because they were parts I thought that I would be able to get in the future, but it seems that there's been a hard time getting these kits. They seem to just disappear as fast as they come out for some reason. I don't know, but I can't seem to get parts from anybody locally, so I decided to go through and do a couple hacks on parts that I had sold, and I actually made improvements, I think, on a lot of what I originally had. There were also a couple of other parts, and we're going to go through the hacks I've done so far on this motorized bike. Now, I've been driving this for about a week, and the things that I've done to it so far, they haven't caused me any issues. If they do, I'll post some videos in the future. I originally did do a video where I showed the absolute worst you can do on a fuel system on a motorized bicycle, and I did a whole bunch of stuff that I probably, I think I'll separate into different fixes, but things that you're able to do with fuel system components, and I did them all at once in one video, and I thought, no, that's not a good idea. I'm going to give you a little bit of a disclaimer here for the rest of the video. Don't mess with your fuel system unless you know what you're doing. Unless you got like a fire extinguisher handy and all these other things, which I do. It's just around the corner here. And make sure you're doing it outside, well-ventilated area. Try not to contaminate the ground with the fuel. And, you really should have some mechanical aptitude before you attempt to do any fixes or hacks like this. This is working for me, like I said, and I do this stuff all the time, so it's not a big deal for me, but for some other people it may be a big deal. And gasoline is dangerous, right? It causes fires, and I don't even need to go any further with that. Fires are dangerous. So to start on the fuel system, I sold my petcock valve. So what I did was, at Princess Auto sells a thing which is called a brake bleeder kit, and a brake bleeder kit is used to bleed the brakes on your car or whatever you want to do, or your vehicle, and these thread into the brake bleeding holes, and you're able to connect your reservoir or your suction gun or whatever it is that you want to connect to the brake bleed ports on your car. And this is actually the same thread. One of them was the same thread as the fuel port that the petcock valve goes into for my motorized bicycle. Now, I knew that this would work even though it's nylon, and it's got to be fuel rated nylon, and if it's in contact with brake fluid all the time, it has to be treated for petrochemicals. So I knew I wasn't going to melt it if I put it into the gas tank. Don't try this with just any nipple. This, like I said, comes from a brake bleeder kit, and they come with all kinds of them, so you won't miss one or two of them. Here I got an Inline Princess Auto fuel filter, just regular fuel line. On this side, I have a PV Mart ball fuel valve. I got it at PV Mart, cost me about $22. This used to be like a $12 part, but thanks to COVID, everything's shot up. Somebody screwed off the little handle on me, so I now use a key device that I made in order to turn on and off the fuel filter, or the fuel valve, which is kind of a cool thing, because that way nobody can tamper with it really easily, I guess, off the hop. I'm not going to show you how to do that. Up here for the kill switch, I had side mounted with a single screw, if you see it right up there, and a little bit of glue backing, not even much, off of a kill switch piece that I had cut off with a utility knife. I actually cut the plastic straight again with the utility knife. It was smashed, and I cut it so that everything was straight and it would fit one of these toggle switches, or activation switches, or bump switches, whatever you want to call them. They're 120 AC VAC, and they're about 10 to 15 amps. So working on this small little system of this motorized bicycle is nothing for the DC. And I actually prefer this switch over the original. It kills the bike faster. The only problem is if this switch gets wet, it doesn't like to work anymore. So very simple toggle switch, spade connectors on the bottom, and bang, you got a good kill switch for replacement, but you can't get it wet. Or at least if you get it wet, you gotta let it dry out. I actually keep a couple of them in rotation, so if I do get one that's too wet or whatever, I can just back the screw out, crack the glue, because it's not even really good glue I got on there, and then just unplug the spade connectors and pop in a new one. It's very fast. But I broke this in an accident, and what happened was my clutch lever up here broke. The original stock one that comes with the kit broke, and I replaced it with this one. I think I talked about this in another video, and yeah, that's why it broke, and this is my fix. So this works well, I mean, but don't get it wet, because it won't work at all. You won't start your bike, but the only positive thing is that if it is too wet, you can just unplug your spade connectors, and the bike will start. But shutting it off, you're going to have to touch them together somehow. So not a complete safety switch. The other one didn't work well in the rain either, don't get me wrong. The other safety switch sucked in the rain. A lot of things suck in here on the rain. In the rain, sorry. Your magneto, getting it wet will destroy the bike. Getting your kill switch too wet will destroy the bike. So things to watch out for if you're keeping your bike out on the balcony or whatever. But a lot of the times when these things get wet, if you dry them out really good afterwards, they will work. I found with a magneto, if you put a wet magneto in a bag of rice, like a cell phone, like I have in here, it will work again. But that's just something I figured out. Hacks that have kept this old bike going. I've had this going now for over a year. I think it's tried technology, and it works. In Alberta, hey, it works. And I got another one in there, like I said, that I rode all winter. So yeah, if you like these videos, give us a thumbs up and subscribe.